There we go. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Today is, what is today? Today is the 25th day of January. This is the 17th episode. Wow. It's going so fast. This is the 17th episode of season 3 of the Be Your Own Hero show. Hero is an acronym. It means helping everyone reach optimism. In other words, helping others helps you. It's a reciprocal action. I'm your host. I am Sekouwrites. I'm a professional creative and the creator of what we're now calling the Hero Ministry Movement, which is my effort to uplift and inspire the unhoused community and people in general. By the way, I keep forgetting to announce this, but I have created an Instagram account finally for the Hero Ministry Movement. It is exactly what you think. It's at Hero Ministry Movement on Instagram. All right. So there's that. Please follow me on Instagram for the Hero Ministry Movement. There's nothing there yet. I haven't posted anything yet, but that will be the place where I put all things hero. Oh, including the show. Yeah, including the show. All right. So that'd be cool. Also, shout out to New Thought Media Network for allowing me this platform to talk about my journey of becoming my own hero. And check me out here Monday through Friday, 9:45 a.m. Eastern Time. That's 8:45 a.m. Central, 7:45 a.m. Mountain. And if this show provides any value, please consider making a donation, liking, subscribing, etc. Okay, so let's jump right into the Hero Ministry Movement news. Shout out to the people in the chat so far. Shout out to Gladys and shout out to Tim. Appreciate you guys being here live. Shout out to the other folks who are joining in. Okay, so Hero Ministry Movement news. Today is day 239 of my run streak. It's day 4 of half marathon training. And I just wanted to mention, for those of you that might be interested at some point, that marathon training is self-actualized. Like, you meet with the folks every once in a while, but they give you a basically task list of things to do, and you have to do them on your own. So you have to be self-motivated. I didn't expect that. I don't know what I expected, but I didn't expect that. I guess I expected that we would be meeting all the time. So anyway, yesterday's task was 2 miles, and today's task was 3 miles. And I guess they're going to vary up the days, the number of miles, and the speed. So I'll keep you posted. Again, today was day 4 of half marathon training. That was pretty cool. And this is also my 3rd charity run. Just a reminder, I'm doing another charity run. This is charity run number 3. This is in service to Mr. Charles, the man that I found in the snow a couple weeks ago. And so my goal is to dedicate the next 100 miles of my charity run to Mr. Charles, and in that time of running the next 100 miles, be able to raise $1,000 for him and to speed him on his recovery and welcome him back from the hospital. So please join me in that. The link is easiest to, well, you can just go to GoFundMe and search for my name. Also, you can just go to my website, sekouwrites.com, and you'll see the link right there on the homepage. It says charity. So please support me in that. So 30-day challenge, folks. Shout out to Lovejoy and shout out to Gladys. Gladys has been holding it down with the roll call early in the morning. I get up really early, but sometimes I get busy with my morning practice and my run, and I forget to post the roll call in the Facebook group. And Gladys has been holding it down the past couple of days, so I appreciate you, Gladys. And shout out to Lovejoy for doing it. Lovejoy is 14 days in. She's steady on it. She walks outside like I do. She's outside only, and she walks in the cold no matter the temperature. And it's hard work. It's hard work, but she's doing it. And so just a quick sidebar on that. The point is to do it every day. That's where it gets challenging, because I know some of the folks who join the 30-day challenge have these really lofty ideas about what they want to accomplish, but maybe they weren't thinking about the 30-day part. It's that you have to, oh, I'm frozen. Am I back? I'm frozen again. Okay, I think I'm okay now. Yeah, I think I'm okay. So anyway, the point is focus on the 30 rather than focusing on what you do per day. Focus on doing something every day. Okay. So moving on, I mentioned the fact that I was on Regina Smithwick's podcast recently, and I mentioned her book, The Powerful Podcast Journal. Check this out. It's available on Amazon. I'll be using it for sure. And my conversation with her is now available on my podcast, the Sekouwrites podcast. So go check that out. Sekouwrites podcast is available on all podcasting platforms. Check it out. It's a pretty cool conversation. Okay, I keep forgetting to mention the seminar. My bad. I said early in January that I was going to do a Get Rich 101 seminar. That is still my intention. A couple signals got crossed and I'm being led in a new direction, but it is still my intention to make it happen. And it is still my intention to make the first quote unquote seminar about NFTs. So stay tuned. I haven't forgotten. It's still coming. All right. Just wanted to say that. Okay. So Morning's in. Morning's in. As you know, if you've been watching the show, I've been reading the 30-day mental diet. I've been taking the class. I've been taking this class right here with Rev Melissa. The class is now closed, but I've been taking this class, 30-day mental diet class with Rev Melissa. So I've been reading the 30-day mental diet every day as my morning reading. Sometimes I read more than that, but at least I read that. Okay, so today for me is day 19, I believe. We're all on different days based on when we started. So let me just briefly read what happened for me on day 19. Okay, the theme for day 19 is discover your place in life. Discover your place in life. A possible key to finding the proper place or activity for the release of your abilities is to always contribute. New ways and means of using your abilities will never develop unless you make use of every opportunity to offer something of what you are in all that you do. However frustrated or resentful you may be at the present time, it is necessary that you discard such feelings and always contribute your best. Always contribute your best. So that resonated with me. They have a capsule statement at the end of every chapter that really sums up the chapter. Often I find something in the body of the text itself that resonates more for me. So this is from the body of the text. This is not the capsule summary at the end. So a key to finding, just to summarize, a key to finding your place in life is to always contribute. So if you hold to the rule of always contributing, you will find yourself moved in different ways. This show is a perfect example, right? It's me trying to contribute to other people's knowledge about wealth and abundance and contribute to my own knowledge about wealth and abundance. And it has expanded and expanded and expanded. Okay, so that is the morning Zen. And yeah, that's it. That's it for the morning news. I'm moving along well today. So let's do our affirmation. I'm before 10 o'clock, which is great. So I'm going to do our morning affirmation. Well, our daily affirmation. I am so happy and grateful to be a multimillionaire in every area of my life. I am so happy and grateful to be a multimillionaire in every area of my life. Hold that with you. Keep it throughout the day. All right, so circling back to the comments, just want to see who else is here. Shout out to Linda. Shout out to Nan. Gladys is on it every day. Yes, Gladys, do your thing. All right, so I wanted to reiterate that we've been talking about trading this week, unexpectedly. Unexpectedly, we've been talking about trading, and that's in keeping with the theme of doing. In keeping with the theme of doing. I talked yesterday about how a little bit of money invested in 2006 will be worth a lot of money now. We did 3 stocks. We did Home Depot, Starbucks, and Microsoft. And if you invested a little bit of money in all 3 of those, $840 total, or was it $860? A little over $800 would have yielded you about $5,000. And adjusted for insurance, that would still be $3,000. But if you had just left that $800 in your bank account, it would have lost $300 in value. So be only worth $500 now. It would still say $800 on your bank balance, but it will only be worth $500. So that's pretty sobering. But I also mentioned trading and how that if you bought a share of Wayfair early in 2020, early in 2020, and then sold it later in 2020, like 7 months later, you could have made 200% on your money. Actually, over 200%, 220%. So that to me was really groundbreaking and fascinating, because most of us, myself included, have learned to think of money as a save and hold, like you sock it away somewhere and let it grow. Usually, historically, in a savings account, we've already learned that that's not the place to put money in this space. Right? That is the average for a savings account is 0.06%. You don't want that. You want to put it in some place where it appreciates in value faster. So my thinking moving into this space of investment is, which stocks do I put the money in to let it grow the most? And like that's the first part of the example from yesterday. You put it in Microsoft and Starbucks and Home Depot and let it sit there for 15 years, and you've gained 600% or so, right? But you can make 200% in 7 months on one trade, on one stock. One trade on one stock, 200%. So that's really groundbreaking, because to me, the implication is you can make much more money faster by jumping in and out of the market, meaning trading, than you can by buying and holding. So I've listened to a number of different podcasts recently about this, and one of them suggests that you have two accounts. So you have the buy and hold account for the stock market, and that's what you do. You just buy, hold, set it, forget it, contribute to it, don't touch it. That's the discipline. Don't touch it. Don't pull it out even for emergencies. Find your emergency money elsewhere. Let that money keep working. Because if you pull it out, you got to start from scratch. So set it and forget it. That's account number one. Account number two is your trading account, for lack of a better phrase. I'm trying to think of something that sounds less intimidating. But basically, let's call it your short-term stock account. And that's the account that you can use to jump in and out of the market. Again, the way that I've been taught to think of trading is that it's frenetic and confusing and complicated. But my example from yesterday showed that it doesn't have to be any of those things. You could have bought one stock of Wayfair in January and then kind of watched the markets a little bit and sold it 7 months later, and you would have made 200%. Like, that's not frenetic at all. That's a very leisurely pace. So you don't have to jump in and out of the markets I'm frozen again. I'm frozen. Okay, I think I'm back. I don't know what's going on with the connection today. Anyway, I wanted to learn more about this, and I wanted to share that knowledge with you. So what I did is I found a video about the difference between trading and investing in the stock market. And we're just going to watch it together. I haven't done show and tell in a while. So we will find out together the difference between trading and investing in the stock market, and maybe why it's important to do both at the same time. Both and instead of either or. Okay, let's see. Here we go.
When we think about people who invest in the stock market, two types generally come to mind. Investors and traders.
The stereotypical image of a trader might be the frenetic floor trader yelling orders out across the trading pit, sleeves rolled up. Traders generally buy stocks with the intent to sell when the price reaches a particular point, usually within a short time frame in hopes of making a quick profit. On the other hand, an investor might be the white-haired guru who knows everything about the guts of a company and focuses on building a portfolio that grows over time. Investors generally buy stocks and hold them with the expectation that they will grow in value and for the purpose of generating income via dividends, which are regular payments of profit to shareholders.
Typically, they don't intend to sell good stocks, even when times are bad. Now, these may...
Okay, I don't know what's going on with the technical difficulties today. I don't know. Anyway, I only watched that video once. I understand from people in the comments that it's echoing. Okay, so essentially it's saying the same thing that I was saying a few minutes ago, that you've got these two schools of thought: buy and hold investing in the stock market, and also trading in the stock market. And both of them are beneficial. And it seems to me now that the best way to move forward in terms of growing wealth is to do both. And for those of you that are starting to feel nervous about me even saying that, I have felt the same way. But I mentioned recently that I've started trading, I'm gonna put air quotes on that, but it hasn't been intimidating at all. So I intended to show this video, but since the video is not working, let me just tell this story. So I listened to a podcast recently about trading, and the woman who's telling the story was an assistant principal. So she's working at a school, and she decides that this isn't for her. She's got to do something else. She doesn't know what. She got to do something else. Eventually, she stumbles upon trading. Yeah, I'm just going to use the phrase. I'm going to use the word trading and not attach words, because there are a number of different kinds of trading I've learned. There's day trading, which we've all heard of, right? But there's also swing trading, and there's all these other types of trading. So let's just say trading. She stumbled across trading, and she started trading at school before and after class. Because as you know, the markets have banker's hours. So she was trading early in the morning, and then school lets out early. So right after school let out, she would stay there in the classroom and do some trading. She was experimenting with it. And she said that the goal, a popular goal in trading stocks is to trade 1% of your portfolio. So yeah, trade 1% of your portfolio and then try to make that amount every day. So that's easy math for me. My stock portfolio on Weibull, I've mentioned this before, is $40. For those of you who have not clicked the link yet, the link is only good until tomorrow. The link will expire tomorrow. I put a Weibull link on the Facebook page, but it's going to expire tomorrow. You click it by tomorrow and you will get free stock. You're guaranteed to get free stock. What they do is they have a randomizer. So when you click to get free stock, you might get a $1 stock, you might get a $5 stock, you might get a $10 stock, you might get a $1,000 stock, right? There's no telling which stocks you're going to get, but you won't get any stocks if you don't click it today. So I have done this myself. It worked. I got about $30 worth of stock. So back to the story at hand, I got $30 worth of stock in my new Weibull portfolio. I added $10 to it from my own bank account. So my account is $40. So 10% of that is 40 cents. Very small numbers, right? So that's what I got from her podcast. That's one of the things that I got from her podcast, that you can just play with 10% of what you have in the account. You don't have to have big numbers anymore. There was a time in the past where you had to have a certain amount to open a brokerage account. You had to play with certain numbers. But now you can play with $40, as I am. Okay, so the other thing I got from her podcast was that she was able to eventually meet her salary as an assistant principal. She said she was making $3,000 per month as an assistant principal. So she starts trading in the morning and after school, after the kids leave, stumbling, learning, failing, stumbling, learning, failing, trying again, all that stuff. But eventually, she made $3,000 in one trade. That did not happen immediately. She had to work her way up to that. But she made $3,000 in one trade. And that was the same amount of money that she was making per month as an assistant principal. So she quit the next day. She put in her notice. She said, I have proven that I can meet my salary with stock trading. And now she's a professional stock trader. She teaches other people how to do it. She does speaking engagements. She travels the world, all these other things. But that's how it started. Her goal, by the way, was not to make $3,000. Her goal was to make $300. That was her goal initially. And then eventually she made $3,000. That's when she quit, dedicated herself full time. There are tons of stories like this. As a matter of fact, this takes me all the way back to Darvis. We talked about Darvis. I think that was in season 1 of the Be Your Own Hero show. I talked about this man named Darvis, who was a ballroom dancer, who was able to make $2 million in less than a year in the stock market. Now, I went and read his book, and the punchline is, yes, he made $2 million in less than a year, but he spent the previous 5 years stumbling, failing, learning the market. Like, there's no shortcut. He did the work and failed a lot, and with each failure, learned something new to the point where he could make $2 million in less than a year. But that didn't happen right out of the gate. He had to earn that knowledge, right? So anyway, I'm circling back to him because I'm realizing now that he made his $2 million in less than a year by trading stocks, not by buy, hold, investing. Matter of fact, he was exclusively a trader. Now that I think about it, he wasn't buying and holding any of those stocks. He was buying them, holding them, and then selling them again. And that's how he made $2 million in 2 years. That's how this assistant principal made $3,000 in 1 month. Something to think about, right? Something to think about. Because that's a dramatic and relatively quick turn of events. Again, I'm going to keep using 7 months as the barometer. You could have bought Wayfair in January of 2020 and sold it 7 months later and made a 200% return. So you could make a couple trades a year and still do really well. Just a couple trades per year. So circling all the way back to me, again, I didn't intend to tell this story, but the video is not working. So let me finish the story. I listened to that podcast. I figured out, all right, so 10% of my $40 account is 40 cents. Let me make a trade and try to make 40 cents. That's an easy goal in my mind. And then it's not even my money. Like, they gave me the free stock. Weibull gave me the free stock. So I feel free to play with it. Okay. So yesterday I put in a trade to make 40 cents. So to be specific about the numbers, there was a stock that they gave me for free that was trading at $8 yesterday. So I put in a sell order at $8.40. Easy math. Now, the other thing that's really cool is when you put in a sell order, this is a limit order, you're saying that if this stock ever reaches $8.40, I want you to sell. That means that you don't have to sit there and watch it and wait for anything to happen. You just tell the machine, all right, if it ever hits $8.40, sell it. Let me know. And then I went off to do other things. And last night, I checked my Weibull account for an entirely different reason, only to find out that it is sold. It's sold. I set the order yesterday, and it filled itself yesterday. At some point during the day yesterday, it hit $8.40 and automatically sold. So we're talking about an automated procedure. Like, you can just tell it when to sell, and it'll do it for you. It's very accessible. It's much more accessible than I thought. So I hit my goal as defined by the assistant principal. I earned 40 cents, which is 10% of my $40 account. And so my intention is to do that again, right? And so something I haven't heard mentioned anywhere else that I want to mention is that, is my alarm going off here? My alarm is going off somewhere. I can't find my phone though. Oh, there it is. Sorry. I don't know if you can hear it, but I can hear it. Okay, so that's my alarm to wrap up the show. So anyway, I was saying that I earned the 40 cents. And the thing that I haven't heard mentioned elsewhere is that it takes the money time to settle. It's kind of like moving money from one bank to another bank. You know how it takes like 2 or 3 days to show up? It's the same kind of thing. So I did my trade. Well, the computer did my trade for $8.40 yesterday. And the money is still pending. It's still settling. So it'll take a few days to settle. I mention that because you can't just, if you're using the same pool of money, you can't just jump right back in. You got to wait for the money to settle before you can do something else. And I haven't heard anybody mention that talks about trading. So I'm letting you know early. You have to wait for the money to settle after you make a move. That said, this is the season of doing on the Be Your Own Hero show, right? So I'm suggesting that everybody open another brokerage account. Use the Weibull link, get the stock for free, and start playing with trading on somebody else's dime. Like that's an ideal situation. You're trading on somebody else's dime. So if you lose the money, it was found money anyway, right? There's very little risk. And the reason I'm suggesting that is because the evidence that I've accumulated thus far, and I'm still researching, but the evidence that I've accumulated thus far shows that you can make significant amounts of money in short amounts of time. We already learned that you can make significant amount of money by investing in the stock market, which I don't know about you, but I didn't know before. I didn't know before now. I know it now, though, that you can make 600% on your money just by storing your money in the stock market. But now we're learning that you can make 600% in a month if you know what you're doing, right? So all that said, I'm suggesting that everybody click that link for the Weibull account. And yes, they do have a .com, so you don't have to have a smartphone. So click the link for Weibull. It's on my Facebook page. Get some free stock in a new brokerage account and just experiment. Figure out what 1% of whatever they give you is and set an order to trade automatically. See what happens. So I'm gonna keep talking about that. I'm very fascinated by trading right now. I am shocked and amazed to see how easy it is. It is presented so intimidatingly out there in the world, but it's not that intimidating. And it's like anything else. The more you study it, the more familiar it becomes. It's like anything else. So I remember I talked about smart people a long time ago on this show, and I discovered that there's a lot of smart people that watch the show. If you're a smart person, this is designed for you. It's a system. It's a system that can be learned. Start studying. That's it. Start studying. Let's see where it goes. All right, so my parting shot is I wanted to show you the notebook that I was talking about yesterday. Isn't this great? Look, it's a notebook shaped to look like a $100 bill. Very cool. This is my mom's notebook. She said I can use it. I'm going to use it for trading, to keep track of trading. Anyway, we got prayer time coming up at 10:15. After that, we got Sit with Rev. Melissa at 10:30. And I might be popping in to say a few words during that show. So until tomorrow, keep doing. Be a hero. Be your own hero. Remember that now is better than perfect. And today's lesson in terms of now is better than perfect is go click that Weibull link and get you a free stock trading account. Why not? All right. I'll see you tomorrow. Later.